Thanks for watching Community Update for Friday, April 25th. I'm Steve Erickson. It's not the news students and parents wanted to hear, but this week, Governor Tim Walz confirmed students won't be returning to the classroom this school year. His announcement Thursday is an especially difficult one for this year's graduating seniors to digest.
This period in time, you will be forever the class of 2020. You will not be defined by staying home and missing proms and missing graduations. You will be defined by understanding how interconnected our world is and what it means to come together to try and solve hard problems.
Walz's decision means distance learning will continue for students and teachers through the end of the school year, which is on June 9th. Laptops were distributed back in March to allow students to continue their education online. A recent survey of parents by the Anoka School District gave some insights into how things are going.
We have a small portion of our parents that are always saying, make my kids work harder. We have a small portion of our parents that are always saying, this is way too hard. And our online survey gave us very similar data. The majority in the middle saying, this is about right for this kind of learning. But we're going to continue to tweak it to try to meet those expectations and provide more interesting activities for students as we move on.
The superintendent says teachers are working together each week to share what's working and to modify lesson plans as they go. Following the governor's order this week, the Minnesota State High School League has canceled all spring activities and athletics. City Hall remains closed to the public, but city staff are still available to help residents over the phone and online. The one exception is the police department lobby, which remains open to the public during regular business hours. Golfers are excited to once again be hitting the greens. Late last week, Governor Tim Walz lifted restrictions on golf courses in Minnesota, allowing them to reopen, keeping social distancing guidelines in mind. And it didn't take long for golfers to flock to Bunker Hills for a round or two.
After getting the governor's order, we jumped in with all feet and welcomed our golfers back, and they couldn't have been more excited. The phone rang off the hook. Our tee times booked online, prepay only last weekend, and it was just a phenomenal weekend. Very smooth. A lot of people just excited to be out, and the weather was pretty good, so that was a wonderful plus.
Reservations and payments are still being taken online at bunkerhillsgolf.com, but soon you'll be able to pay in person once again at the course. Also this weekend, Mully's Tap Shack is expected to open for takeout food and drinks, and golf carts will soon be available. Golfers are just reminded to practice social distancing of 6 feet within your party and at least 20 yards between groups of golfers. Bunker Beach will not open this season. Last week, the Anoka County Board voted to keep the water park closed this summer as a public safety measure amid the coronavirus outbreak. It was not a unanimous decision. Bunker Beach typically employs around 150 staff members. Customers with season passes will be issued refunds. Commissioner Mike Amash, who chairs the county's Parks Committee, says it was a tough decision, but due to the spread of the virus, operating the water park this season would have been difficult. Property tax statements started arriving in mailboxes across Anoka County this week. They lay out how much each individual property pays for taxes for city, county, and school services. The first half payment for property taxes is still due by May 15th. Also included with the statement is a page that shows the current value of your home, which will be used for taxes payable next year. If you want to contest the value, just reach out to the city's assessing department. With many people stuck at home, local libraries are doing a brisk business. On Monday, the Northtown Library had a record number of holds with just over 2,200 at that location. All Anoka County Library buildings are currently closed, but curbside pickups can be done at the Northtown, Rum River, and Johnsville libraries. The library system is also offering virtual story time on Facebook weekdays at 10:15 a.m. In other news, construction crews have been busy in recent weeks working to make HANSON Boulevard safer and better for commuters. The $4.6 million project is happening north of Highway 10 between Northdale Boulevard and Main Street. This week, grading crews have been building the new southbound lanes of HANSON Boulevard. They've also been working on installing storm sewers. The 4-lane roadway will get raised medians down the middle and new turn lanes on both sides. The project is expected to be finished later this fall. Meanwhile, work is also taking place on the new railroad overpass on HANSON Boulevard. On Thursday, we found crews pouring concrete for a sidewalk on the northeast side of the bridge. They are also installing bridge approach panels and grading for the shoulder curb. This is the second year for the big construction project, which closed HANSON Boulevard for much of last year. Crews are hoping to wrap up work this summer. If you haven't yet completed the 2020 census, there's still time. So far, just over 70% of Coon Rapids residents have filled out the once-a-decade survey. That's about 8% higher than the state average. The census is critical in determining our representation in Congress and the amount of federal funding our state and local governments receive. To take the census online, log on to 2020census.gov. Time now for Business Spotlight. Who doesn't need a little caffeine to start the day? This month, we visit family-owned Dunn Brothers Coffee at the intersection of Foley and Northdale Boulevard.
We're Dunn Brothers Coffee at the corner of Foley and Northdale. Dunn Brothers goes to about 15 individual farms around the world and buys directly from the farmer. What distinguishes Dunn Brothers from other coffee shops is that we roast our coffee in the store. So there's our roasted coffee, dark roast Peru. I started the store in 2007. I had recently retired and wanted to do something different, and my daughter, who has a degree in hotel and restaurant management and also a degree from Le Cordon Bleu, wanted to do something different too, and so we started the store, and it's been a great experience.
It's really fun to prepare the drinks and to make them and do that kind of thing on a daily basis. Day to day, I get to see these people that are passionate about coffee.
Our emphasis is to have people buy fresh coffee and use it within 2 or 3 weeks, and then we use all that fresh coffee behind the bar.
I love having fresh food too, so that's something that we're proud of.
We also have a great drive-through. We try to keep it very friendly and pleasant in our store for people to do whatever they need to do in a coffee shop. We want to make this feel just like they're at home.
The PGA Tour is hoping to get back to business soon. PGA officials have announced a revised schedule that would start in mid-June without spectators for at least the first 4 events. The PGA Tour is scheduled to make a stop in Blaine the week of July 20th for the 3M Open. That would be the 7th tournament on the schedule, which for now does include fans. However, tournament organizers are making contingency plans in case that can't happen due to the coronavirus. All 3 fire stations in Coon Rapids will be collecting homemade masks this weekend. Residents are encouraged to drop off cloth masks Saturday from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. The homemade masks will then be distributed to facilities in need throughout our community. All right, that is going to bring us to the end of today's show. Hope everyone is staying safe out there. We appreciate you joining us, and we'll see you back here again next time.